The wholeflation bubble has popped. To properly explain wholeflation, picture this. It's 2021. You're on TikTok. Anime on TikTok is cringe. People still bully people for watching anime. Every now and then, you never ever find people talking on the app. You only ever find people dancing, whip and nene. And in the midst of you scrolling, you see this 10 out of 10 stunning woman. Somebody that would be clarified as celebrity status. Just out and about on TikTok. You don't care what she's talking about, but you give her a follow in hopes that maybe one day, if you make it in life and she is still not a celebrity, you can go up to her. She's a 10 out of 10 baddie. You always follow her because where else would you find such a 10 out of 10 stunning woman that is not a celebrity? And you follow her and you like the post and you keep following her, like you become essentially her simp. And fast forward to 2024. Anime is cool now. Anime is amazing on TikTok. Anime is blowing up. People are talking left and right. Nobody is dancing on the app no more. But guess what? There are still these 10 out of 10 stunning women. But now, you scroll 1, 2, you find this 10 out of 10 stunning woman that you're like, oh my god, you love her. But she's a big influencer and is already making big bucks of money. You scroll another 2, you find one that is not an influencer, and you're like, holy shit, this might be my wife. Then you scroll 2 again and you find another 10 out of 10 baddie. And you scroll, you find a 10 out of 10 blonde. You scroll again, you find a 10 out of 10 brunette. You scroll again, you find a 10 out of 10 ginger. You scroll again, you find a 10 out of 10 black woman. You scroll again, you find a 10 out of 10 Asian woman. You scroll again, you find a 10 out of 10 Indian. Scroll again, you find a 10 out of 10 everything. You find everything 10 out of 10. Every rare breed is not rare anymore. And it's like, God, everybody is a 10 out of 10. And you start being nitpicky about the type of 10 out of 10 that you want. You're like, you know what? I like somebody with a 10 out of 10 face, but I want somebody with a big ass and like maybe a little bit of tits. I don't want somebody with too big of tits. You're going to find a 10 out of 10 with little boobs, big ass. And you're gonna be like, you know what? Nah. I want somebody with big tits, little ass, and a 10 out of 10 face. You're gonna find that in a couple of scrolls. And you're gonna be like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna be different. I want somebody with big tits, big ass, and a 10 out of 10 face, and a great personality that likes everything that I like. And you're still gonna find that on there. Except the personality part, you're not gonna find that. The thing is, we weren't ever meant to ever see that many bad. That's a fact. Back in the day when you were in school, there was always one 10 out of 10 girl in the whole school complex. She's she's always the senior. There was always just one, or on the most in school of like 1,000 students, there was like 5 girls that was like 10 out of 10. Back then, you couldn't find a 10 out of 10. It was a rare item. Before you could find a 10 out of 10 woman, and I mean like looks wise, it was like a rare breed. And it was like when you do see it, because of how rare it was to find a 10 out of 10, when you do see it, you want to pursue it with everything, aka doing simp behavior in hopes of getting her. Because if you don't get her, you're never gonna find somebody like her. It's a fucking 10 out of 10. It's a rare Pokemon. You can't find a 10 out of 10 anywhere. And the rare factor of a 10 out of 10 was what made people want 10 out of 10s. Because if it's not a celebrity and it's a 10 out of 10, that's even more rare, because every 10 out of 10 was becoming celebrities because you look so good, you should be a celebrity. And then we have TikTok, where 10 out of 10s are everywhere. And now people didn't want to do the simple behavior no more. That is what led to me doing this video. This is what happened. Way before 2021, back then, if I'm walking with my mans and we find a 10 out of 10 girl, it was like, ooh, damn. The only time we wouldn't approach a 10 out of 10 girl is simply because we thought they were out of our league. We don't have anything to provide to the 10 out of 10 girl. So it was like, you know what? I gotta like work hard, go to the gym, or make money to even be able to approach the 10 out of 10 girl. But recently, I was out and about with my mans, and we seen this 10 out of 10 girl. I'm like, bro, look at that girl. He's like, nah, she's not worth it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, she's probably gonna have like a bad attitude, and like he's not willing to deal with all that. I'm like, bro, what? And he's like, yeah, like he's just not willing to deal with all that. It's not me saying him preferring personality and not objectifying the women is like a bad thing. I'm just saying now people actually care about personality. Back then, being a 10 out of 10 was the cheat code. If you had like shit personality, you couldn't be talked to, but at least she's a 10 out of 10. Back then, that was the. We've gotten to a point where personality matters now. Attitude, your attitude fucking matters now. Meanwhile, being a 10 out of 10 was the cheat code. You didn't have to have a job. You didn't have to have a good personality. Shit, you could have been like fuck all to his family, and he would have still taken you and be like, she's beautiful. People would have been like, oh yeah, like yeah. If you look at her, you'll get it. And I'm like, whoa. It's just really crazy that young men have been exposed to so many bad bitches that now it barely ever registers in their mind. And just so you know, we've gotten to the day and age where female celebrities aren't being as worshipped as previous, because you can listen. If I say right now, like let's pick somebody like Sydney Sweeney. If I ask any male, they can mention like 5 influencers that they found on your FYP prior to this video that both all look better than prime Megan Fox. It's crazy. It's like there is just that unlimited amount of 10 out of 10s. And if there are that many 10 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s, it's losing the rare factor. People don't care no more. Because it's like, if this 10 out of 10 doesn't like me, there's a different 10 out of 10 that likes me. And it's like, damn, the bubble really popped. Tell you what exploded OnlyFans. Back then, remember what I said about people just following 10 out of 10 girls simply because they are 10 out of 10 girls, and finding a 10 out of 10 girl is that rare. Before you would ever get to see a 10 out of 10 girl naked, you'd have to marry her. So hence the simp behavior, so that they could just be the boyfriend and one day crack the bitch. But that's the thing. Now, ain't every 10 out of 10 girl, okay, not every 10 out of 10 girl, 5 out of 10, 10 out of 10 girls have an OnlyFans. If you want to see them naked, it's just that easy. That's what I'm saying. Every type of girl that is like the apple of your eye, like, this is the type of girl that I just want, like body-wise, objectifying-wise, like just physicality-wise, you will find the girl either acting porn or having an OnlyFans, and there's no in between. It's like nowadays, you go and you see a 10 out of 10 girl, you go to her TikTok page, you click on the Instagram link, it's taking you to her Instagram, where you go into her link tree, where you're gonna find her OnlyFans, and you're just gonna see the naked things. And if you're cheap like me, you just go find the leaks online. My problem here is it's gotten to the point where 10 out of 10 are like not being treated as 10 out of 10s now. But mid girls are being treated like the 10 out of 10 guy. A mid girl with a great personality is being treated like the 10 out of 10 girls. And I noticed this because anytime now that I approach a mid girl and get into a situationship with a girl, I always realize that they have like 90 other men that are texting them. But then I hit up 10 out of 10 and we're dating. It's like she has only me. And it's weird. It's weird. It's like people aren't simping for the 10 out of 10s now. They're simping for the mid girls. And it's, who'd ever think the whole inflation bubble would pop? It's like it's a sign of recession. It's a recession indicator. We have just gotten to the point. And as somebody that like isn't really on social media like that except YouTube, I've seen the effects of it. Because now I don't find 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. There's always a girl that looks like that. And people in general, men in general, if they don't get really picky, they just don't see the need in having a 10 out of 10 and the problems that come with that. It's like they don't really care that you're a 10 out of 10. They just don't want to put up with bullshit no more. And it's simply because the amount of 10 out of 10s are just everywhere. Go on your phone, you're going to find 10 out of 10s. That's not what it was in 2010. In 2010, you don't know what a 10 out of 10 is if you're not a celebrity, if you don't find them in a movie. Now, I can count 6 influencers with less than 200 followers that look better than Prime Megan Fox. It's a crazy statement to make. But I would say I'm proud of the male audience because now we're getting to the point where OnlyFans is no longer the method. Being just pretty is no longer the method. And there has been a spike in male prettiness, aka males are now also taking care of themselves to also look pretty and be 10 out of 10s. And I think that bubble too will one day pop, even though maybe it might not pop because the male dynamic in the dating world is quite different to the female dynamic in the dating world. But it's like now women are like Corvettes, C8 Corvettes. C8 Corvettes were very in demand when they were rare. Now, for every 2 Toyota Camrys that you see a C8 Corvette. You see the correlation. You guys see the correlation. So, what are your thoughts on the whole inflation bubble popping? And look at my thumbnail. I didn't have to search that hard to find 3 10 out of 10s to put on the thumbnail. Editing this is gonna be a mess, but that's the point. Inflation bubble has been popped. I mean, our minds are woefully fucked. Our minds are pretty fucked, and people just don't give a shit anymore about your looks. You're like, they can get an Asian 10 out of 10, black 10 out of 10, an Indian 10 out of 10, American 10 out of 10, an African 10 out of 10. Any type of 10 out of 10 is out there. And they're not even out there. They're on TikTok. You can just hit them up. They don't even have like 1,000 followers. They have like 200 followers. Fix your posture. You're too hunched over.